करुणा निधि नाम तेरा करुणा बरसा जो करुणा निधि नाम तेरा करुणा बरसा जो सोए हुए भाग्य को हे नाथ जगायो तो हे नाथ जगायो तो मेरे नाव बाबारा डोले उस पार लगा देना मेरे नाव बाबारा डोले उस पार लगा देना गुरुदेव कृपा करोगे मुझको अपना लेना तुम सुख के सागर हो भक्ति के सहारे हो तुम सुख के सागर हो भक्ति के सहारे हो मेरा मन में समाये हो मुझे प्राण से प्यारे हो मुझे प्राण से प्यारे हो मेरा मन में समाये हो We're on the bottom, the third of the turn. Nitamala japute ri mere dosha bula dena the third of the third. गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना माए संत का सेवा का हो चरण का दास हूँ। तेरे चरण का दास हूँ। नहीं नाता बुलाना मुझे इस जगह में अकेला, इस जगह में अकेला हूँ। नहीं नाता बुलाना मुझे जगह में अकेला, इस जगह में अकेला हूँ। तेरे द्वार का भिखारी हूँ, नहीं दिल से बुला देना। द्वार का भिखारी हूँ, नहीं दिल से बुला देना। गुरुदेव कृपा करके मुझको अपना लेना। जय गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव, गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव।
Vaishnav, right? Or are we speeding up? Vaishnav or?
Oh yeah, Vaishnav, yeah. I think because we started at 6, we're don't have to rush too much.
Class at 7?
Thanks. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We had certain bhajans that we wanted to throw in there, if possible.
Alright, yeah, well, let us just. Sakala Vaishnava Gosa 46. Okay. Sakala Vaishnava Gosai Doya Koramore Dante Trinadori Kahe Edina Pamare. Dante Trinadori Vanchakalpataruha Karuna Sagara Eto Barasamui Doriyantara Vanchakalpataruha Eto Barasamui Doriyantara Gunalesha nahi mora aparader sema ama udoriya loke dekao mahima Gunalesha nahi mora aparader sema Amayudhariya loke dekamo mahima Nama sankirtana ruchi ara premadhana Hiradha mohane deho oyasa karuna Kirtana ruchi har premadhana Hiradha mohane deho oyasa karuna Sakala Vaishnava Gosai Doya koro more Dante Trina Dhori kohe Edina Pomare Nava Gosai Doya koro more Dante Trina Dhori kohe Edina Pomare Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Shri Radha Mohan Das Shri Radha Mohan Das Radha Mohan Das Jaya Radha Mohan Das Jaya Radha Mohan Das Radha Mohan Das Jaya Radha Mohan Das
Would you like to sing?
Are we on Garanga?
Yeah, we're thinking of
Nita
doing
will be-
Nita and Gore maybe for time purposes.
I could do Imana Durmati
Sure.
at 66.
Okay, 66.
Oh, but I don't really know it too much. I'm gonna do Garanga. Can I do Garanga Bali to help understand? That's page 86. Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Na Yanne Babenira Gangama Sharira Goranga bolite habe polaka sharira hari hari bolite na yanne babe nira Goranga bolite habe polaka sharira Hari Hari Boli Chena Ha ha beni chai cha de karuna hoi be samsara vasana mora habe chuja habe Akabeni chai chade karuna hoi be samsara vasana mora jahabe Vishaya chadiya kabe sudhabe mana Kabe ama erabo Sri Vrindavana Sadiya Kabe Sudha Mana Kabe ama erabo Sri Vrindavana Rupara gunata pade hoibe akuti kabe ham buja boshe jugala piriti Rupara gunata pade rahumora asha pratana karo yosada narottama dasa Gauranga bolite habe pulakha sharira Hari Hari bolite na yanne babenira Gauranga bolite habe pulakha sharira Hari Hari Bhujai Bosha Gora He Gora He Gora He Gora He Nita He Nita He Nita He Nita He Hey
Sing a Krishna song? Krishna bhajan next week? Or Krishna Deva if you're comfortable with that?
I gotta go make dinner.
Kapil, would you like to sing anything or
You wanna sing, Fish?
you want to sing a Krishna bhajan? Or you choose one?
बहुत मिनाती करितो गनाइते दोषा गुणलेशना पवि दोषा गुणलेशना पवि जबतु करो विचारा करो विचार तू जगन्नाथ जगत कहासी जगन्नाथ जगत कहासी जग बाहिर नहीं मोहि नहीं मोहि माधव बहुत मिनाती करितो बहुत मिनाती करितो किए मनुष्य पशु पाखी जे जाना मिए मनुष्य पशु पाखी जे जाना मिए अथवा कीट पतंगे कीट पतंगे करम विपाके गत गति पुनः पुनः विपाके गत गति पुनः पुनः मति रहु तुव पर संगे तुव पर संगे माधव बहुत मिनाती करितो मिनाती करितो भानाय विद्यापति अतिशय कातरा विद्यापति अतिशय कातरा तराइते इह भव सिंधु इह भव सिंधु तुव पद पल्लव कुर्यावलम्बन पल्लव कुर्यावलम्बन तिलएको देह दीन बन्धु
Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Mana Manasa Madhukaramapaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande Apaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande Yadyapi samadhishu vidirapi pashati natava nakagramaricim Yadyapi samadhishu vidirapi pashati natava nakagramaricim Idami chamini shamyatava chuta tadapi kripa bhutavicim Chamini shamyatava chuta tadapi kripa bhutavicim Bhaktirutan Chatiyadyapi Madhava Natvai Mamatila Madri Chatiyadyapi Madhava Natvai Mamatila Madri Parameshvarata Tadapi Tavadika Dugata Gatana Vidatri Parameshvarata Tadapi Tavadika Dugata Gatana Vidatri Ayamavilolataya sanatana Kalitat Bhuttarasabaram Ayamavilolataya sanatana Kalitat Bhuttarasabaram Nivasatu nityamiham nindini vindan madhurimasaram Nivasatu nityamiham Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Krishna Deva Pavantam Vande Manmanasa Madhukaramapaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande Nasamadhukaramapaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokulataruni Mandala Mahite Gokulataruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Tamodararati Vardhanaveshe Madhavadayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadayate Radhe Jaya Rishavanudadi Navashashileke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Tadi Navashashileke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadayate Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Tanaka Sanatana Vanita Charite Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite Tanaka Sanatana Vanita Charite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadayate Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadayate Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhavadayate Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Krishna Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Huh? Oh, you want to do all ashtakams? Oh. I thought you wanted to do Namami Nanda Nandana. He wants to do it.
$2.90. Can I play? What? No, I don't know it that well. Can you Jay Tanya? Shakti? Didi? Namam Ishvaram Satchit. It's probably starting, you know what? It's probably starting like a B. Namam Ishvaram Satchit and B. Namam Ishvaram Satchit Anandarupam. What's up? Oh, let's do it together. Namam Ishvaram Satchit Anandarupam Lasundanam Gokure. Oh, I did it wrong one. Yasoda Bhyanukalandavamanam Paramishtamadyantato Drupya Gotam Udan Jantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram Muhu Svasha Kampa Trire Kanka Kanta Stita Graiva Damodaram Bhakti Badam Namam Ishvaram Sachit Ananda Rupam Lasa Kundalam Gokure Prajman Itrix Lila Birananda Kunde Swago Shamni Majjantam Akyapayantam Tariye Shitang Deshu Bhakti Jitatvam Pruna Prematastam Sata Pritivande Padam Deva Moksham Na Moksham Vadimva Nachanyam Vrindeham Vadeshadapiham Idam Teva Punata Gopalabanam Sademana Sasya Virastam Kemanye Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Dasakundalam Gokunde Vrajamanam Idam Te Mukam Bojam Aktyakanilen Ritam Kundalai Snigdarak Taishya Gopyam Muhushum Vitam Bimba Rakta Darame Manasya Virastam Alam Nakshalabai Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasakundalam Gokunde Brajamanam Namadeva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam Kripa Drishti Prishyate Dinam Bhatanu Grihane Shamam Agnam Edakshi Drisha Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Dasakundalam Gokunde Brajamanam Kuveratmajo Bhata Mutyaiva Yadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajo Kritocha Tate Prema Bhaktim Swakam Miprayacha Namokshe Griho Mesti Damodareya Namam Ishvaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namaste Stu Damne Smura Dipti Damne Twadi Yodarayata Vishvasya Damne Namo Radhikaya Rai Twadi Apriyaya Namo Nanta Nilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tvadeya Priyaya Namo Nanta Nilaya Devaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Srila Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jai Gurudev Jaya Srila Gurudev Jai Gurudev Jaya Srila Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, Jaya Srila Gurudev. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. 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 Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Dagoda, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Goda, 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 Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Goda, Hari Bol.
Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Agurudev Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Todalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Viraga Taruva Juhava Putre Ditanmayataya Taravo Banedos Tang Sarvabhuta Hridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Binay Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantike Angashamalim Chatabirabito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jadyam Jat Patambarasya Sriya Ranyani Vasinam Hridilasat Tamabiramodaram Radhaskand Niveshito Jalabhujam Dhyayamadamodaram Dhyayamadamodaram. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Asto Tirasat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti began Parvati Goswami Maharaj to our grandfather Guru Sri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj and Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his divine associates and to all these assembled devotees, and to the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Guru, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So now we are in Jashoda Bhavan. And we are hearing from Srila Gurudev, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Satyabhat Muni, and Srila Vyasdev about the Sri Damodarastakam and its meaning. So I would love to call on different devotees to read a paragraph or two each. But the reason that I haven't been in the last days is that sometimes I skip if something is redundant. And that way we have a better chance of covering the chapter or the verse. So this is verse 5. Idam te mukambojam avyaktanilai vritam kundalai snigda raktais jagopya Bhojambitam bimba raktadaram me manasya birastam alam lakshalabhai. O Deva, your lotus-like face, encircled by soft blackish-blue curly locks of hair that have a reddish glow, is repeatedly kissed by the gopi Sri Jashoda. May your supremely charming lotus face, with lips like red bimba fruit, always remain manifested in my heart. I do not care about millions of other attainments. Now Srila Sanatana Goswami's commentary. In the previous verse, Sri Satyavrat Muni prayed for Krishna's whole form as Bal Gopal in Vrindavan to forever manifest in his heart. In this verse he prays, among all the limbs of your beautiful form, I especially yearn to behold your supremely enchanting lotus face. He speaks this verse beginning with idamte in order to convey his desire. Once, in his meditation, he had a momentary glimpse or spurti of the indescribable beauty of his worshipful Lord's lotus face. Now he expresses his experience in words by saying, Mukambojam, your face is just like a lotus flower, and in fact, it is the original source of the beauty found in the fully blossomed lotus flower. It soothes all suffering. It is permeated by the sweet nectar of supreme bliss. Me manasi mahor avirastam. May that lotus face manifest within my heart again and again. So if you want to be free from suffering, all you have to do is
Remember Krishna's lotus face.
what is supreme? What is Sri Krishna's lotus face like? He continues, it's encircled by curls of extremely black, soft hair that has a reddish luster. Those curly locks seem like bumblebees around the lotus flower of your face. Your lotus face is kissed again and again by a gopi. The gopi mentioned here can be conceived of as either Sri Yasoda or Sri Radha, although the word Muhu again and again can be applied to Me Manasyavarastam as before. It can also be applied here to Gopya. Thus it can be used twice, once regarding the gopi's kisses and once regarding the sage's vision of Krishna's lotus face. Also, if we restrict the use of Muhu to Gopya based on its position, very scholarly commentary, based on its position within the verse, then the third sense is derived. Your lotus face is kissed again and again by the extremely fortunate Yasoda, or by Sri Radha Gopi. May that lotus face manifest in my heart, even if I can only see it once. Alternatively, this phrase is a partial repetition of the phrase Sadame Manasyavarastam from the previous verse. Therefore, the word Sada can also be applied here to derive the meaning, may the vision of your lotus face being kissed again and again by Mother Yasoda or by Sri Radha remain manifest in my heart forever. He describes another beautiful feature of his face with the words Bimba Bhat Raktadaram. May your lotus face with lips like red bimba fruit. A bimba fruit is like the reddest thing you've ever seen. It's very soft, doesn't have a hard skin, and it's pure red. It's not like a tomato that's broken up. It's just solid, pure, soft red. Then my life will be successful. He ends the verse with Laksha Labhayi. Besides this, millions and millions of other attainments are of no importance to me. The reconciliation of his rejection of millions of other attainments is the same as the one from the previous verse. And what was that? I don't want liberation from material miseries. I don't want supreme liberation of Vaikuntha. I don't want the ninefold Vaidhi Bhakti practices that generally lead to Vaikuntha. I just want Raganuga Bhakti, and I want to see your lotus form in my heart. So other rasas are also Raganuga Bhakti, not just Madhurya Ras. Madhurya Ras is the only one with Rupanuga Bhakti, but all of the rasas are Raganuga. Even the opulence of even Hanuman is called Ragatmika, means he has that unquenchable thirst to associate with his Lord Ram, but it's mixed with Aishwarya. Okay, so now this is Srila Gurudev's Digdarshani Vritti, his commentary on Srila Satyabhat Muni's commentary. In the previous verse, it's as though Krishna was pleased with Satyabhat Muni's devotional sentiments and said, "O sage, I'm satisfied with you. You can ask any benediction from me." And then he prayed, "I don't want any other benediction. There's no limit to the blessings that you can grant, but all of these boons are of no use to me." Then in the present verse he prays, "All I want is to see your beautiful face," again and again. He's remembering the indescribable beauty of his lotus face and his form as Balagopal, which he already had a glimpse of. Spurti means a momentary vision of that face in his meditation. And so when he's praying, he has realization because he saw that face. First, he uses the word avyakta, which means beyond the grasp of the material mind or words. Then, reflecting on what he saw in his spurti, what's a spurti?
Momentary vision.
A momentary vision. That you actually see it, but internally, not externally. His lotus face is encircled with dark black curls, which have a soft red glow. Usually we think of it as a blue glow, but here it says a red glow. And that makes them look, his curls, it makes them look like bumblebees. And Mother Yasoda and the gopis kiss that face again and again. And again, Gurudev is repeating Sri Sanatana Goswami's commentary that in the previous slok, he wanted to see the whole form, and now he wants to see the face. I want to achieve something so rare. Will this hope of mine ever be fulfilled? At first, by the power of sadhu sangha, an inclination to serve Krishna enters the heart. When one's anarthas are gradually driven away by performing bhajan, how? In sadhu sangha. The inclination to serve Krishna continues to increase, and one's consciousness will blossom more and more. That's the thing about doing bhajan in sadhu sangha. So in sadhu sangha, one progresses from nistha to asakti to bhav to prem. However, a profound concept must be considered regarding each soul's ultimate development of love of God. An eternal inclination of a particular soul is to dedicate himself in the mood of a servant. Then his deepest inner hankering will only be fulfilled by that mode of service. His service tendency will never proceed beyond dasya ras, because that's his constitutional position. Satyavrata Muni's prayers reveal that his mood is destined to develop beyond dasya ras. Like, it keeps going up and up to madhurya ras. And that is why this verse expresses increasing longing within his heart. We can understand his situation by considering the history of Gop Kumar. Even when Gop Kumar had attained residence in Vaikuntha, his inner hankering was not satisfied, because he started running to Lord Narayan when he saw him in Vaikuntha, and the servants pulled him back. How dare you run to him in a childish, friendly way? Just worship. That's Lord Narayan. So he couldn't be satisfied there in Vaikuntha, because it wasn't his constitutional position. It wasn't even satisfied in Ayodhya or Dwarka, because that's also full of reverence. Finally, he reached Goloka Vrindavan, and when he experienced loving exchanges with Krishna in the mood of friendship, then all of his desires will be fulfilled. His mood never went any further. Similarly, Satyavrata Muni's longing is advancing through progressive stages. Each sadhak will relish the sweetness of Krishna's pastime according to his own relationship, and also according to his qualification. Qualification means, like if I'm a new devotee, I may not relish Krishna's sweetness as if I was a Bhava Bhakta and I could taste it more. Similarly, according to one's own relationship, if one is in Madhurya Ras, he'll be able to experience Krishna's sweetness more than someone in one of the lower rasas like Sakya or parental. Thus, in the description of Krishna's lotus face being kissed again and again, Sanatana Goswami explains that the word Gopya can either refer to Mother Yasoda or Radhika. Or just like if you're doing arti, You can do arti in the mood of Mother Yasoda when Krishna comes back in the afternoon from cow herding, and Mother Yasoda is doing arti with the lamp to see if there's any scratches. And then when she sees the scratches, she takes her veil and washes that part of him, and then dries it. And she's thinking, those naughty boys, I told them not to wrestle. They probably started wrestling in a thorn bush, and that's how Krishna got all these scratches. Where in Madhurya Ras, early in the morning when Radha and Krishna first wake up, the Sakis are doing that, and they're enjoying knowing why, what are the specifics of how Radharani got those scratches. The phenomenon of relishing Krishna's pastimes according to one's own mood is illustrated in the following example. Oh, it's the same one I just said. Once, upon seeing scratch marks on her son's limbs, Mother Yasoda said, "Oh, where did those scratches come from?" Kundalata, who was standing nearby, heard this and commented, "Your son performs ras at night. These marks are from that." Ras Leela is the prominent pastime. I wonder what happened after that. Ras Leela is the prominent pastime in Madhurya Ras. So how could Mother Yasoda be privy to this amorous pastime? The answer is that she was simply inquiring like an ordinary mother who was worried about the scratches on her son. Still, she is not necessarily unaware that her son is in fact performing Rasa Leela. Vatsalya Ras assists and nourishes Madhurya Ras. How? For example, she'll invite Radharani to come to her palace to cook for Krishna, and then there's so many amorous exchanges there. Nevertheless, as soon as Mother Yasoda heard Kundalata's reply, she at once said, "My darling boy is still breastfeeding. He doesn't even have his milk teeth in. He can barely speak. He just talks in broken, childish language." So she's seeing from her viewpoint. "But you're saying he engages in amorous affairs at night? My dear young lady, you do not know. I will tell you how he got these marks. When he takes the cows into the forest to graze, he loses himself in his play with other boys." Haribol. Sometimes, while chasing stray calves, he runs through thorny bushes. He is also absorbed in playing at such times. He's so absorbed. Hey, I was just wondering when we were going to see you again. Just this afternoon. He's so absorbed in playing at such times that he is not even aware that he's being scratched. That is where those scratch marks came from. So according to one's own mood, one's own constitutional position, he appreciates Krishna's sweetness in different ways and degrees. The devotee will hanker for a particular ras according to his own eternal mood. Sanatana Goswami presents Satyavrat Muni as a perfect example of him. According to his mood, he's trying to awaken within his own heart the bhav of one of Sri Krishna's eternal Ragatmika Jan, his associates in Goloka Vrindavan. Following in the footsteps of Satyavrat Muni, a sadhak should think, if earrings, which are only gold, can kiss the cheeks of Krishna, then why can't I? You know that Krishna's cheeks, Krishna's earrings, when Krishna's moving his face, his earrings kiss his cheeks. And of course that's Baladev. All the ornaments are manifestations of Baladev. So he's kissing Krishna's cheeks, but in a different mood. "Certainly I will do this. With this yearning, he should endeavor to attain his goal with the conviction that he does not need any other benediction. Do you need any other benediction, Sumuki? Good. When he at last attains his own eternal constitutional mood of service in one of the 5 rasas, well, actually not the first rasa because that's neutral. There's no really relationship like when I was on Modi's TV show, or when I was, well, that didn't matter so much, but when I was in his office live, I didn't have any relation. I was just like nervous. Oh, he's so great. He's the president, prime minister of this whole country. He's one of the most important persons in the whole planet. So I was just appreciating, but there was no relationship. So it's like that. When he at last attains his own eternal constitutional mood of service in one of the rasas, then he will attain the ultimate goal, which is prayojana, which is love of God. Whose prema is stronger? Okay, this is a test. Whose prema is stronger? Mother Yasoda, her prema is certainly stronger than his prema for her. Her prema can control Krishna and bind him. If any devotees hears the pastimes of Mother Yasoda binding Krishna with her prema, and of her kissing his lotus face again and again, a longing will enter his heart. If I follow in the footsteps of Mother Yasoda, perhaps I will be able to kiss his lotus face too. But who kisses Krishna's face the most? More than anyone else, Srimati Radhika drinks the nectar of Krishna's lotus face by kissing it again and again. At the beginning of this astakam, see, he just can't help but going there because he's a manjari. At the beginning of this astakam means a song with 8 verses, or a poetry with 8 verses. Satyavrat Muni was praying in the mood of Dasiras. Now in this verse, he's coming to Vatsalyaras. May that supremely charming lotus face, which is kissed again and again by Mother Yasoda, manifest in my heart forever. In the same way, every sadhak will initially consider himself to be the servant. I am General Das. However, by performing intimate service and by acquiring Krishna's mercy, he will gradually progress and a deep longing to perform service under the guidance of one of Krishna's eternal associates, Anugatya Mayi Seva, will begin to manifest in his heart. Just like the omniscient Supersoul present in the core of everyone's heart, the Guru has a special charismatic of perfectly knowing our heart. He knows the eternal constitutional mood of our soul, our eternal relationship with Krishna, and accordingly he connects us with him. Then by supplying the water of hearing, chanting, and remembering, he nourishes that relationship and cuts down anything that obstructs the nourishment with a sharp axe of his words. See, his words carry, bona fide Guru's words, his Harikatha. Can you stand up, please? His Harikatha. See, my words have a lot of effect. I say stand up, and she stands up. Right? Okay. It's supposed to laugh. God, it's a slow group. Okay. So, he knows the eternal constitutional mood of our soul, our eternal relationship, and then he nourishes it and takes away anything that obstructs the nourishment with a sharp axe of his word. His words carry Swarup Shakti. So by his words, by hearing attentively his words, one goes from Shraddha to an artan of Riti to Nistha to Ruchi by his words. Because his words are transcendental reality. He does this so expertly that the sadhak barely notices, but all the while the needful is accomplished. That's amazing. This is what the bona fide guru and genuine Vaishnavas do. They do not have bodies of flesh and bone, which are subject to change and which may die at any moment. They are the eternal associates of the most merciful incarnation of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who descended to deliver the fallen souls in this age of Kali. Guru and Vaishnavas are among the intimate companions of the divine couple. The way Sri Bhagavan extends his loving mercy to the souls bound by Maya is sending associates. That's it. That's the name of the game. Sending associates. If we don't have that association, we can pray to the books, considering that the books are non-different from those associates. But we also pray for that association to come. Krishna's lips have been compared to red bimba fruits. How much longer? It's a lot. Okay. Bimba Raktachidaram. Although ripened bimba fruit is extremely soft and beautiful, in reality, it is far excelled by the softness and beauty of Krishna's lips. Still, even though his lips are so beautiful, he constantly hungers to drink the nectar of the lips of Srimati Radhika. Then what must their lips be like? The most clear example of how Krishna hankers to drink the nectar of the gopis' lips is found in the Brahmar Gita, in the conversation between Radhika and a bumblebee. Just as you abandon a flower after drinking its honey, Krishna completely bewilders us and makes us drink the nectar of his lips only once, and then he suddenly abandons us. Why does goddess Padma, Lakshmi, who herself is just like a lotus, serve his lotus feet? It seems that her mind has certainly been stolen by his cunning words. However, we're not as naive as her. And then she also says, Lakshmi rides on an owl. That's her carrier, just like Ganga rides on an alligator. And the owls don't see in the daytime. They can only see at night when there's nothing to see. "Oh, bumblebee, messenger of Krishna," Radhika said, "your master knew that when he would leave us in the future to go to Mathura and elsewhere, we, the young damsels of Braj, would die from being separated from him. He likes to see us writhing in pain, so much that he forcibly made us drink the nectar of his lips just once, for only a few moments. He knew that death cannot come to anyone who drinks that nectar, and he knew that later, unable to die from the pain of separation because his nectar is, his lips are the nectar of immortality, we would just writhe in agony forever. Krishna's eyes, his eyebrows, his smile, and his lips are the sharp arrows of Cupid. Once, someone had seen them. No, that's a wrong syntax. Once someone has seen them, he will remain wounded forever. Devotees who cultivate Raganuga Bhakti following in the wake of Ragatmika Bhakti, or the Bhakti of his associates in Goloka, or who are Rupa Nuga, followers of Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Manjari, excuse her, I left my place. They remember all these moods of Srimati Radhika in separation as they perform sadhana, and thus they lose all awareness of their bodies and their homes and everything. Sri Vrishabhanu Nandini continued to angrily lament to the bumblebee, so she burned as she burned in the fire of separation. O messenger, description of your master's pastimes are exactly like nectar. If someone accepts, Shri Shri Radharaman Bihari Jeev Ki Jai, if someone accepts even one drop of that nectar through his ears, even once, then his sense of obligation to worldly dualities is utterly ruined. Because of that nectar, many people have quit their homes and families, leaving them utterly miserable, leaving the families utterly miserable, and leaving themselves utterly miserable because they moved into the forest and lamented in separation from Krishna. So we are the unavoidable proof of this. There is no need to look for evidence anywhere else. Simply by hearing about his pastimes, we have become homeless. What becomes of such a miserable homeless person? It says in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.240, Evam vritasva priyanama kritya jatanurago trutachitta uchai hasya tato rodati rautagayan junmadavan rityati lokabhaya. One day I'll tell you the story of Gurudev on the beach, saying that saintly people who have firmly devoted themselves to serving Sri Bhagavan with deep love constantly engage in kirtan of the names of Krishna that they love the most. Again, Madhurya Ras or Sakya Ras. When deep attachment, anuraga, rises in them, their hearts thoroughly melt and they become mad in love of God. Sometimes they laugh, sometimes they cry loudly.
Can you tell us the story now?
Agitated by love, they sing about their Lord in sweet voices, and just like madmen without a trace of shyness, they dance and sing unaffected by anybody who's looking. Even Krishna's flute, a dry piece of bamboo, drives the three worlds mad when it is touched by the powerful nectar of Krishna's lips. However, the gopis regard the flute with spite, as if it were their co-wife. Gopya kemachadadayam kushalam swavenor damodara dadarudam sudam api gopikanam punkte swayam yaravasistarasam harinyo risatvacho shumachus taravo yataryat. Oh dear Sakis, we cannot imagine what sort of sadhana and bhajan the flute must have performed in previous births, that in our very presence is drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips, Damodar's lips, which is actually meant for us. On the pretext of their blossoming lotus flowers, the rivers which have nourished the flute, because the flute drink the breast milk of the rivers who are their mothers. So with the excuse of blossoming many flowers, they're just haripalating because they're so ecstatic that their son is dancing on the lips of Krishna. Seeing their descendant filled with such intense love for the Lord, they have become overjoyed, and tears of ecstasy are flowing from their eyes. Who's that? The fathers, the trees. In the form of sap, it's really their tears. The strength to attain these exalted feelings will enter our hearts by reciting the prayers of the exalted acharyas in our Guru Varga. headed by Rupa and Raghunath. Then, step by step, we will make progress in the path of bhakti. In Sri Radhika Padapadme Vigyapti, which we sing every day. Do you know that song? We don't know it is that title, but it's Radhe Jaya Jaya Ma Tava Dait Stay. So what is that called? Sri Radhika Pada Padme Vigyapti. The lotus feet of Radhika. Vigyapti means prayer. Damadara Dati Vardhana Veshe Harineskuta Vrindavi Pineshe. The beautiful way you dress causes Damodar's attachment to you to swell. You are the presiding goddess of his pleasure groves in the forest of Vrindavan. All glories to you, the most beloved of Madhava. You are the most celebrated among the young damsels of Gokul. From the ocean, milk ocean of Vrishabhanu Maharaj's affection, you have arisen like a beautiful young moon. O dear friend of Lalita, by your qualities of playfulness and friendship, you have enchanted the heart of your intimate Sakhi Vishaka. You are so full of mercy that great yogis and brahmacharis like Sanak and Sananda Kumar are always engaged in describing your exalted nature, so please be merciful to me. And another one, Ha Devika Kubaragat Kadayadhyavacha Yacheni Bhaja Bhuvidandavad Udvadarthi Asya Prasharamabudasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvike Tavagane Gananang Vide. O Devi Gandharvika, I am suffering greatly. I have fallen at your feet, and I am lying on the ground in front of you, just like a stick. With a choked voice, I am begging you, please be merciful to this fool and count me as one of your own. As we sing these verses, we should meditate on our Guru Varga and consider, it is you who are actually submitting these prayers. It is you who are singing them. Without your mercy, I will never be qualified to make such prayers. So that's interesting. So like I might think, Prabhupada, you're actually singing this song, not me. I'm not qualified to sing it. But with your mercy, I may become qualified. You're submitting these prayers. Interesting. It's like you're making the food offering. What are we doing? Just acknowledging and praying. It is only by their mercy that we can follow in their footsteps and pray like this, and thus gradually attain loving service to the divine couple in Braj. There are two modes of meditation, Mantramayi Upasana and Swarasiki Upasana. When one deliberately concentrates on remembering only one particular pastime, like Mother Yasoda binding Krishna, while performing bhajan, it is called Mantramayi Upasana. But when Bhagavan's pastimes manifest in one's heart spontaneously one after another, it is called Swarasiki Upasana. That's just many Mantramayi Upasanas, just like in a string or in a waterfall. When performing bhajan and braj, only Swarasiki Upasana is present. In the Damodar Kirtan, you could say it's Mantramayi because it's all Mother Yasoda is binding him, she's kissing him. Okay. In Braj, wherever the sadhak goes, he has spurtis. Wherever he goes, he has spurtis. Like everywhere. Of Krishna's eternally new pastimes. They keep getting newer and newer. Beholding new spurtis everywhere he looks, he exclaims, "Oh, Sri Krishna performed this pastime here." He then beholds another spurti, and And he performed that pastime over there. In an unbroken chain, Sri Krishna's pastimes are stirred up in his heart. Swarasiki Upasana is called Raga Anuga or Lobamayi Bhakti. What does Lobamayi mean? Mayi means what? Full of. Like Krishna Mayi means she's full of Krishna. Wherever she looks, inside or outside. And Lobamayi, Loba, yeah. So one is completely full of greed all the time and ever increasing. So Satyavrat Muni has prayed Alam Laksha Labhai. Millions of other attainments are of no use to me. While his prayers until this point have reflected the mood of someone absorbed in Vatsalya Ras, we should not mistake these words to mean that he rejects the attainment of something higher than Vatsalya Ras. I'm rejecting all attainments, including Madhurya Ras. Is that correct? No. We shouldn't think that. That's what he means. So fortunately, if one obtains the association of one of Radhika's companions, her mood will enter his heart and cause him to implore Sri Krishna, "Oh Sri Krishna, if you are pleased with me and want to give me something," and then he'll submit this prayer. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhika Rasikamam Kripanithe Swapriya Charanakin Kari Kuru. O Shamasundar, O beautiful dark boy with a peacock feather crown, your playful smile and your flute completely bewilder our minds. You are expert in tasting the nectar of Srimati Radhika's love, and you are an ocean of mercy. So please make me a maidservant of your beloved's lotus feet. When Krishna is truly satisfied, he considered it his own success to bestow this benediction upon the sadhakas and sadhikas, lady sadhaks. This is how the process of Rupanuga Bhajan gradually unfolds. So what's the key? Pray, 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 pray. We pray that the fruit of our bhajan will be that he gives us this topmost benediction. Sri Damodarastakam ki jai. Goa Premanandi. Is there time for the story? It's 8:03. Okay, I forgot it. I forgot it already anyway. What? Yeah, so we were in Italy with Gurudev, like 1998 or so, and the retreat was near the beach. So Gurudev told the story in the class that we were on the beach this morning. Prajanath and Leela Purushottam and I were at the beach, and a big Alsatian dog walked up to our car and looked in, very sad, and then walked away. You look like you know it. Do you know it? No? Okay. Okay. And he had mud all over his eyes, and he was dirty. And then he went to another car, and then another car. And then he walked to the edge of the beach, like looking as if, should I just jump in and die? And so why was that happening? And while Gurudev was telling the story, he had this very, very thin, it's rare when you give Gurudev or Prabhupada, to speak of Prabhupada, he usually gets these fat gardenia ones. But anyway, Gurudev was wearing this very thin lavender, small flowers garland. So he was telling that he was asking his two associates do you know why? What's happening like this? So they didn't know. So then Gurudev said, he was once very beautiful, and he had an owner who loved him. The owner would feed him and bathe him, nourish him. Not the best place to sit. Anyway, so gradually, year by year, the dog got older and older. You know how people get sick of parents when they get old, especially when they're just coughing and they just wish they'd die already, forgetting all the nourishment they got from their parents. So anyway, he didn't want the dog anymore. So they went to the beach one day, and just for a couple of moments, the dog saw a lady dog, a bitch dog, and ran after her, as dogs will do. But then when he came back, or before he came back, the master thought, yes, this is my chance to get away. And he drove off. And ever since then, the dog has been looking for his master. But will that master ever return? That cruel master? No. And then he compared the dog with the gopis, that the gopis are also wondering, should we die? Should we keep our life? Well, we want to die, but Krishna said he'll be back, so if he comes back and he sees that we're dead, he won't be happy. So he compared the dog with the gopis. He said, but will Krishna come back? Krishna is all merciful, so he'll certainly be with them. And even the separation feelings, they experience the presence of Krishna. So that's the story. Oh, I forgot one part. So anyway, he's wearing this thin lavender, small flower garland. And so he went like that, to express himself. And the garland just broke and went all over the place. So it went along with his emotions. And Gaur Premanandi. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol. Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Preman. You're all good clappers. They make good instruments. Okay, so what's the parikrama for tomorrow? Finish Radhakund parikrama, and then get ready all day. Make the preparations for Anukut tomorrow night, and decorate. Are you coming tomorrow? Good. Can you get that other one to come? Okay. I mean, at least tomorrow. Then I'll grab him for the service. All right. Okay. Panchakopatrubhyascha kripasandubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.